So it has been a really weird last month for classic anime fans, to say the least. So Nozomi Entertainment made an announcement that they were doing a Kickstarter, which isn't new for Nozomi Entertainment. I mean, the physical media scene, it can be a little rough, and with classic anime, you've got to make sure you have a market for it if you're going to sell it. And sure enough, they announced that they were recording a dub for the original 1985 Dirty Pair TV series. Dirty Pair, for those who don't know, is one of those classic Girls with Guns anime, and it is so good. Look at the hair. Look at their hair. Dirty Pair is a lot of fun. It follows these two characters, Kei and Yuri, known officially as the Lovely Angels, but referred to, much to their chagrin, as the Dirty Pair for their ability to blow everything up in their attempts to save the universe. It's a really great little series based on some truly dogshit light novels, and it has been a keystone of classic anime. And it's kind of surprising that it hasn't gotten a dub before now. I mean, some parts of Dirty Pair have two dubs because Streamline did one and then ADV did an alternate one later. So why did the original not have a dub? Well, as it turns out, the isolated music and sound effects score has been missing until just now. Like 2021 just now. So this is a weird thing to start off on. Like, that's wild enough as it is. So, but that's not what I'm here to talk about today. I was looking at the Kickstarter, following it pretty closely. I'm excited for these Blu-rays. Yeah, let's take a look at this Kickstarter. It's, pretty professional looking. We got all these stretch goals are met, Wait, what's that? Why is that name familiar? Early... The Star Trek guy? So for those of you who didn't grow up in the early anime scene, and I grew up right at the tail end of it, getting into anime basically meant you had to know someone who was cool enough to recommend stuff or get tapes over to you. Sometimes they were really creepy guys, but sometimes they were gatekeepers of cool, sort of anime evangelists. I'm actually surprised that they weren't listed for interviews for this Kickstarter on their own. There are a lot of people in the American side of things who did a lot to bring Dirty Pair to the American public, be it pioneers of Amerimanga, that's American comics styled like manga, like Ben Dunn and Adam Warren, who wrote some pretty good Dirty Pair stories of his own, or even doing a seance to channel the ghost of Torrin Smith. No, we're not doing that. We're talking to Rick Sternbach. So, what does he have to do with any of this? So Rick Sternbach is one of the set designers for the classic sci-fi series Star Trek: The Next Generation. For those of you who are a little young and don't know which one that is, that's the old Star Trek that actually looks good. Yeah, now you know. So anyway, Star Trek: The Next Generation is a pretty great show on its own. Not all of it has aged really well, but a lot of it has, and as it so happens, Rick Sternbach, the set designer, was one of those cool evangelists of the anime scene. He loved all the classics of the time. We couldn't get a lot of anime, but there were things we knew for sure, like Rumiko Takahashi was the undisputed queen, and that OVAs were really cool because you could get a full series and it was like a full story, not parts of a long narrative that you're never going to get all of the tapes of. And somewhere in this, Dirty Pair got a following, and Sternbach was all too excited to give shoutouts to the things that he loved in Star Trek. So it was usually subtle stuff like, hey, if you look at the writing on the walls of this doofy martial arts studio, you might notice names like Lum and Ataru. And, oh hey, Kei and Yuri. Hey, what's the name of this strategy the Enterprise is taking part in? The Lovely Angels maneuver? Oh, and look, Kei and Yuri are on this map too, along with Totoro. It was never anything too invasive, but Star Trek fans are known for over-analyzing minutia, and this would be a nice way for Sternbach to give little shout-outs to this series that he loved. And apparently in the process, he got Will Wheaton to be an anime fan as well. The producers put a kibosh on it, but as it so happens, they did try to put a Dirty Pair poster in Wesley Crusher's quarters, and I think that just would have been tops. That would have been so tops. I mean, hell, I think it's cool when I find young people who are fans of original Dirty Pair now, so like in the 24th century, that would be ridiculously awesome. Wesley Crusher would gain so many points in my book. That said, it's nothing too invasive, but it is a weird little rabbit hole, and just finding all the little Dirty Pair references, be it that map I showed you earlier, or Ferengi with codes that start with K-E and Yuri-E, just little shout-outs to a really fun little sci-fi series that more people should check out. And with that Blu-ray coming up, you should definitely see if you can pick up a copy. When I get this uploaded, the Kickstarter is going to be coming to an end, so you might not be able to get in on the Kickstarter right now, but this is a series worth your time. It's so much fun. It's aged mostly pretty well, and hey, if nothing else, there's nothing like 80s anime for warming the heart in these times of great distress and who knows what else is coming. And anyway, I think this is only fair game since Kei and Yuri do plenty of shoutouts to Star Trek on their own, so now it's a two-way street. It's a match made in heaven, in nerd heaven. There wasn't really much more I wanted to say. I just think that this is really cool, and I kind of love it when two things that I love are being made by people who love those two things as well. It's just really exciting, and I really hope more people get to enjoy the original Dirty Pair. This is kind of a side note, but I don't often get that excited for redubs of older anime. It's kind of off-putting to me when the audio quality is really good and the animation doesn't match the quality of the recording that they're doing. But that said, I really like dubs of old anime, because even if it's not necessarily for me, I want to be able to recommend these classic shows to more people. And for things like Dirty Pair and the, 26 episode TV series that originally made up the story, it's been a bummer that I haven't been able to recommend that to people, because yeah, the movies and OVAs are great, but the series is great too. And now I can share that with more fans. And that's exciting. That's really exciting. I can't wait. So, in the meantime, keep on spocking in the free world, and maybe call some good trouble consultants. But if you have to, have good insurance. These girls make a mess.